to set up a trust and everything. Give them a call. They'll probably link you with a licensed lawyer who specializes in that. And for a couple $1,000s, they'll set you up with a trust for that. Like I said, I think you should always start with a revocable trust, depending on who you're giving the money to. And then once they prove to you, whatever prove to you means, they're worth your money, then give them a irrevocable trust. For instance, Shaquille O'Neal, yes, that's Shaquille O'Neal, the Los Angeles Lakers superstar basketball player. He set up irrevocable trust for his children. And the only way they actually were able to tap into his money is they have to get a master's degree and or they have to prove to him they are a phenomenal entrepreneur. So all of Shaq's kids, I think he has like 6 of them, they either have master's degrees or they are decamillionaire type entrepreneurs. That's the only way to qualify for his money. And he set that up through an irrevocable trust and stuff like that. I don't know if he used Charles Schwab, but Charles Schwab is a phenomenal brokerage firm. I highly advise him. I use them for my SEP IRAs. I use them for my brokerage accounts. I use them for my children's UTMAs, and I use them for my children's 529. So you won't go wrong with Fidelity. Okay. Yep. Keep them moving. Keep them moving. So yeah, before we wrap up and close, once again, I was just looking at the internet right about 2 or 3 hours before we hopped on, and I was just kind of reading through some of the cuts that Donald Trump is currently doing with this government freeze. And Medicaid is off the table. Medicare is going to be frozen. School breakfast programs are going to be closed. They're going to be frozen. Title I education programs, Meals on Wheels are going to be frozen. Temporary assistance for needy families is going to have its funding immediately cut overnight. State grants for child care is going to be immediately cut. Head Start programs are going to be immediately cut. SNAP programs are going to be immediately cut. EBT programs are going to be immediately cut. Most welfare-based programs across multiple states are going to be negatively affected. The Department of Housing and Urban Development has had its money stripped. Grants for EPA grants for clean air and clean water are going to be cut. And as I stated earlier, Elon Musk has received a tax cut for over $10 billion, and he's made over $170 billion with a B since Donald Trump has been reelected. So everybody, at the end of the day, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, elections matter. And based off of the government freeze cut that Donald Trump is doing, that's going to affect you. I didn't know you could do a trust with Schwab of Duelist. Yeah, generally, like I said, the thing about trusts is that you can do them through a lawyer. You can do them through a brokerage firm like Charles Schwab, like Vanguard, like Fidelity. You can do them through all of those. Generally speaking, they're going to link you up with a lawyer who's licensed in whatever respective state that you live in, or Fidelity, yes, or Fidelity. And from there, they're going to get you the professional help that can walk you through it. The thing about trust is that they are a lot more, from my perspective, forward thinking than wills. I think everybody should have a will or a trust. Wills, generally speaking, are significantly cheaper. They're also, by cheaper, I don't just mean they cost more, I mean they are legit cheaper. They're a lot more flimsy in regards to how they can kind of stand the test of time. Trust, I find, generally speaking, people who do trust, they generally come from a higher socioeconomic status because they understand the power of the probate and not having to pay it. But more importantly, with the trust, you get to dictate what happens to your money before you die. With a will, it dictates as well about what happens when you die, but the stipulations, generally speaking, are a lot less. Another thing I like about trust is this. With a will, when you do a will, it's kind of public knowledge about who gets what. With the trust, it is no public knowledge. So not only do people not know how much you gave your brother or your second child or your third kid or your first daughter or whoever, with the trust, it saves you on your taxes as well, at least with the irrevocable trust. So either way, people, whether you're a trust or a will, you're eating, okay? You're eating. You're eating. All right. So the last bit of thing I'll tell you to do is this. I know with Donald Trump's executive orders and everything in regards to freezing up the government for all my government workers and people like that, the last thing I'll tell you is this. If you feel a little scared that your government position is about to be cut or the job you do for the federal government is about to be negatively affected, I mean, Elon Musk has already said he wants to fire a couple tens of thousands of federal government workers with his DOGE program, with his DOGE Department of Government Efficiency. If you're a little scared that your job may be on the chopping block, my advice is the same thing I give you whether you have a Democrat or Republican office. You need to retool, get more certifications, get more education, and essentially get another career or start another career, or better yet, start a business, okay? So don't look at the upcoming administration with, I'm not going to say with fear, not finding your Cash App. You say it again, please. Yes. $CHRIS. P as in preacher, 485. So $CHRIS. P as in preacher, 485. So, yep, that's my, or you can just hit the super chat below as well.